Hi everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube channel, where as always your hosts
Arne and Carlos.
And today we are here with our Christmas in July festive knit along. We actually did this for Rowan last year. Huge success. A lot of people were making these squares and making them into these lovely Christmas blankets or the cushions, as you can see here.
Or maybe you just made a pile of them like we did.
And
we never had time to sew them together.
Right. So today we are going to show you how we sew them. There's many different ways of sewing them. We're going to show you how we do it. But before that, Arne, I think we should talk a little bit about the motifs and the colorways, because there's got three colorways. There's a multicolorful one, or multicolor one, with greens and blues and yellows on a gray background. I really love this one. Then we have my absolute favorite. I love the cold pink with the warm red or burgundy. This is a really nice combination. This is absolutely my favorite. And then, because we've always done our Christmas balls in red and white, we've got a beautiful red and white combo with the designs. And there's different little things here. There's a lovely Christmas heart made out of paper.
That's,
do you have that?
That's inspiration from the little baskets people used to hang on the Christmas tree with goodies in the old days.
It's very traditional, especially in Denmark. They love doing them. And they do them obviously in white and red, because that's the color of the Danish flag. If you go over to Sweden, you will see them done in blue and yellow, which is the color of the Swedish flag. And I think in Norway, we don't do them in the color of the Norwegian flag, because
we do them in any color. Like when I was a kid, I remember we did that in school before Christmas, and we cut out paper with different shapes, and then it was not always straight lines. It could be any line.
And then we've got these lovely there's a bell and a snowflake, which are the ones Arne is sewing together, which are quite lovely as well. Christmas bells, obviously, snowflakes because it snows.
And we have another snowflake.
Another snowflake
this
there.
One. Or a star. I don't remember. We actually put names on them, I think, but
yeah, it was a year ago.
And then this one is.
I love that one.
This is the small Santa Claus girls and boys carrying candles. So this is a design we did for a Christmas ball many years ago.
Right.
They were walking around, but with porridge and with a sack, the gift rucksack, and the candle.
No, it wasn't a rucksack. It was a gift in the hand.
A gift and the bag that Santa Claus is wearing.
Right.
And a candle and porridge. I think it was 4 different. So we used the one with candle on this one.
And you're calling them Santa Claus, but they're actually not. They're little Christmas elves.
Christmas elves.
In Norway, they live in the barn, and you bring them porridge. Now you must be wondering, why are we doing a Christmas episode in July? And well, there's a couple of answers. If you start now, you can take it easy and get this done until December, right? That's one. But we learned about Christmas in July in 2017 when we went to Australia. We had never been to Australia before. No. And we were there, I think we landed on July 22nd or 23rd, and everything was normal. We stayed at the Marriott down by the harbor. Yeah,
that was kind of cool.
Yeah, everything was completely normal until we went down on the third day.
Yeah, for
breakfast. And the elevator opened, and we thought we'd fallen into a parallel jet lag universe where everybody was wearing Santa hats
and Christmas
tree. And there was a Christmas tree that I don't know where it came from. Remember?
And Christmas decorations on the tables.
Yeah. And then they told us they told us that they wanted to celebrate Christmas in winter because it's summer in Australia when Christmas is.
And for us, it was a very good summer day, actually.
Yeah, I mean, we went out wearing a T-shirt because it was nice and warm for us. Meanwhile, all the Australians were wearing down jackets and beanies. And the temperature must have been around 20 degrees Celsius, which is around 70 Fahrenheit, which for Norway is a great summer. So Arne and I were like, oh my God, did we fall down some sort of a rabbit hole? What's going on here? It was funny.
That's funny. So since then we've done Christmas in July, and We have had like stockings for Christmas in July, and what more did we do? Christmas balls?
Yeah,
and
mainly stockings.
Stockings,
which we're not doing this year because we're doing
because
this.
we're going to do this, because we know there's a lot of you who have a pile of these and you haven't sewn them together. So we've been asked, how do we sew them together? And I think that there's many different ways you can do it, but one way we like is, I think it's called Mattress stitch in English.
Mattress?
Mattress stitch. So that's, I'm going to show you that technique. This is sewn together a different way. This is sewn together like they're putting them together like that, and then they sew under the bind off or the side stitches.
Yeah.
But you can do this way. So I can show you on this one. And don't look at my fingers because it's Christmas in July and I'm more out in the garden.
We are...
I tried to clean my hands, but it didn't work. So
we're doing Christmas in July / weeding in the garden. Because, you know, once a gardener, always a gardener.
Always a gardener. So on the way, on the sides, when you sew them, you go into the legs on both sides, on the edge, and then you do like a Kitchener stitch. So you sew them together like that. So in the leg, and then in the other leg, and pull the yarn through, and you go down where it came up, and then you pull them together like that. And under that leg, and then under the leg on the other side, and pull, and then down where it came up, and up again in the middle, in between those two legs. So then you get this stitch, and you can always pull a little bit to make it look nicer. Sometimes the stitches on the side can be a little bit strange, depending on how tight you make them or loose you make them. So sometimes you have to go from the back and actually pull to make it look nicer if they are a bit loose. So that's how you do it on the side of the knit. Like under two legs, pull and down and up. So then I can show how you do it on top.
Yeah, because it's a different...
It's the same stitch, but you work from a different place. I can put this. I'm going to do this correctly later. And you also have, when you sew them together, look at the stitches, that they go the same way. You see, they are that way. If you put it that way, suddenly you have crying and smiling. It's nicer when they come the same direction. So on the top of the knit, you have the stitches just under the bind off. Maybe it's better to start on the other side. I feel like I'm going to work this way. So you go under that one, and then you go to the stitches. I have to take this one first on the side, and then you work your way to the next one. It's a bit strange in the beginning, and then you go to the stitch. So this is like a duplicate stitch, or it's actually the same way when you sew a stitch on the stitch. And down and up in the next stitch, and then again you go under the leg where you came from to the next leg, and down and up in the next one, and under the legs above, and down and up. You see, there's a little bit more like, how you say it, a little bit tricky in the beginning. Just have to fake it.
Fake it till you make it.
Till you make it in the beginning, because of that, the stitch you slip or knit when you start knitting back and forth.
Yeah.
So under the legs on the stitch above, and back into the stitch where it came from and up in the next stitch. And I think this is called mattress stitch, or is that what you say? Mattress?
Yeah, mattress?
Mattress
possibly,
stitch?
yeah.
In English? I don't know what we call it in Norwegian. We call it
Sewing
together.
Squares together, I guess.
Sewing two squares together.
Sy lappene sammen. That's what we call it in Norwegian.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be more complicated.
Yeah.
So, and you see, then you get nice stitches.
And I'm sure, Arne, as you're doing that, people are probably very curious to see the back. Every knitter wants to see the back of a project.
Yeah.
So let's show you the back of these. And as you can see, they are actually done in color work, but they're done back and forth because of the fact that
you have to knit back and forth.
You have to knit back and forth because you're doing a square. Yeah. But the floats are actually very neatly laid on. So there's no need to worry about that. It's just the wrong side. If you are a Virgo, like I am, and you think that this might be a little bit messy, which honestly I don't, but if you were, if you by any chance would, you could do them in double knitting, but that would mean more yarn. You would have to get double the amount of yarn.
It takes longer.
More yarn, more work, and it will be very heavy.
Yeah.
And you want a nice, soft, cute little blanket. So I wouldn't recommend it. Do them the way they are done here.
And I was also thinking we could do like a Christmas tree skirt. That would be nice in this square with these squares. You could use 5 and 5.
Right.
And just put them up in a different
exactly,
pattern.
yeah. So
and then you have a nice Christmas
tree. If we can pull this out. So this blanket, by the way, I have the measurements in both centimeters and inches. It's 110 centimeters by 80 centimeters. So 43¼ inch by 31½ inches. But yeah, if you take off part of it, so you get 80 times 80, 25. You get a lovely Christmas.
5 and 5.
Yeah, 5 times 5 is 25. And then you get a lovely Christmas tree skirt.
And then you can
put your
play
Christmas tree on it.
with the squares.
Yeah.
See, maybe you can have the same motif coming, or you can just play around.
And red, white, and green are the Christmas colors that everybody loves. So in this case, you have the red and white on the Christmas tree skirt, and then you have the green on the tree, and you have a great Christmas color. So,
and also, if you look at the pattern, for those of you who have the pattern, you see like this one, the bell is there's 4 different, because
they're different
you have to
directions.
knit them with the right direction. So this one will face this way. I can take this away so you can see it clearly. See, the stitches are going this way, and this one is going that way. So they're going to point in different direction.
Yeah.
And you see that on the square, which way they are facing. So now they're all the same way.
Yeah.
So think about that when you sew them together. And you can sew them together like this, just under the side stitches or the bind off, or you can do the mattress.
Yeah, so follow the instructions on the Rowan patterns, or do them our way, or do them any other way that you might want. I mean, there's no right or wrong, and there's no rules.
And also on this one, we picked up Rowan picked up stitches and knitted the garter
around, which is very nice.
Around.
3
so
rows
nice
of 3 rows of garter stitch.
Yeah,
very nice. So we hope that,
or you can do a pillow.
Exactly, yeah. So we hope that you're going to have fun doing the knit along. We're not running it on our website. This knit along is actually being done at knitrowan.com. So you go to Knit Rowan, knit as in knitting, rowan.com, and all the details about the knit along, the kits, and everything, you'll find them there. So
and maybe if you want to do other things of the squares, you should post it.
Right.
On Instagram.
Yeah, we'd love to see exactly.
So we can see it.
We'd love to see your progress. So all you need to do is post images of your knit along, hashtagging Arne Carlos. So just hashtag our names without the and. So Arne Carlos. That's a great hashtag.
Maybe you do a Christmas sweater.
Oh, that would be a great idea.
You could do that also.
Or a jacket.
a jacket. There's so much you can do.
Or a coaster. If you only do one, you got a coaster.
Yeah.
One's a coaster, actually. So, yeah.
Double knitted, and you have a pot holder.
So we hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, please give us a big thumbs up. And remember to like and subscribe and engage with our content. It does help us a lot. And for members, we have a lot of additional content. If you want to view that, you could consider becoming a member and that way help us support the channel.
Yep.
So all you need to do is look for the subscribe button here on our channel, and there will be a join button. And currently we are doing a live, not live, but a real-time update in the garden for our members. So every week we're updating them on what everything is looking like. And stay tuned for a bigger update coming here soon.
And I was cleaning in the storage house and I found plastic bags of squares from the quarantine knit along.
Oh.
We still haven't sewn all of them together.
Okay, so
we have a lot of sewing coming.
So now that we've done this tutorial, let's go and look for more squares to sew together.
Or finish this.
So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again very soon. Bye.
Bye.